If my throat was better, I'd do a Mickey Mouse impersonation talking about how bad that hurt. Yes, Mickey, ye old mouse who bends ye knee, handing over $25 million on behalf of George. 25 million, just everything. Trump, 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 anything they wanted. Until they messed with Jimmy Kimmel. Until they messed with Jimmy Kimmel. Disney saw their stocks plummet. Disney saw their biggest stars coming out and saying, cancel your subscriptions. We're not doing any more movies. We're boycotting our contracts. Literally walking away from unbelievable amounts of money over purpose. Standing up for freedom of speech, standing up for each and every one of us. 400 actors, working actors, and signed this huge letter that was published today, Monday. How this is the attack on the First Amendment. And all Jimmy said was that Tyler Robinson came from a MAGA household, which is true. 400 Hollywood stars signed this letter. Said it was threats to our freedom of speech. And Disney listened. Jimmy Kimmel is back tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and his first return guest is Gavin Newsom. Governor Gavin Newsom. Future President Gavin Newsom. And I was talking to these people today about Jimmy Kimmel and the firing. And there's got to be a 100% big picture look through the freedom of speech for both sides. It's got to go to people have freedom of speech. Stations do have a responsibility for, airing non-agitating, violent, whatever, but without curbing the freedom of speech. There has to be some form of guidelines for what the station wants to stand for. But they should be spelled out up front and, whatever. Many corporations, when you're hired into a corporation, you have to present yourself in a way in public, especially with a certain level of jobs, whereas if you get in trouble or whatever, your job is in danger because you have to go with the moral code, the integrity code of whatever that company dictates it to be, which for a private company, they can do that. If ABC had an issue with what Jimmy Kimmel said, they should have handled it themselves. But when the president of the United States fixates on a comedian that he has fixated on for decades now, he couldn't stand Jimmy before he ran, because people, shot back and forth. They don't put up with him. And anybody who comes from where we come from does not put up with him. And the worst thing anyone can do to a silver spoon trust fund baby that grows into the most powerful narcissist on earth, the best thing we can do is fight back. And these companies that are bending the knee to him, that are paying out these ungodly lawsuits just to say, don't hurt us, King Turd. These companies don't deserve our business, so hit them where it hurts and don't go to Disneyland. And how empty the parks were right after that happened, people spoke loudly and they listened. Gavin Newsom gets right in his face and he backs down. The cities that fight him, he loses, he backs down. No violence necessary, just fact, unity, and strength, standing shoulder to shoulder for the right reasons, for the good of all, not one.